Hello, I'm back at Camperdown Parkrun again, and in my last few videos I feel like I've rambled a bit, so I'm just going to try and keep it concise. If you haven't watched my last few videos, I'm still recovering from a rough injury I had back in November when I fell and hurt my knee quite badly. I'm not going to put a picture of it here because the last time I did that YouTube put an age restriction on my video, but I did post a couple of pictures of it on my Instagram, so I'll put a link in the description to that post if you're curious and you're not squeamish. So this is my fourth parkrun since I fell. My first one was 27:30, my second was 25:01, and then I ran 24:13. But that was almost 3 weeks ago. I didn't run last week or the week before because it was just a bit too icy for my liking here, and I had a bit of a cold, which didn't help either, well, a cough really. But my cough's mostly gone now, so I think I should hopefully manage around here okay. So I'll be aiming for under 24 minutes if I can, which you think would be fairly easy considering how much time I've taken off from one week to the next. But like I said, it's been almost 3 weeks since I ran here, which means almost 3 weeks since I've run at that kind of speed. I've been much slower at any other run I've managed between my 24:13 or 14 run and today. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think I'll manage, I hope I'll manage, but anything under 24 I'll be really happy with. But realistically, if I'm under 25, that's still good. If you're not familiar with Camperdown, here's a picture of the route. It's a kind of squished figure of 8 sort of shape. It's just one lap, and here's the elevation. So there's a lot of climbing in the 3rd and 5th K, and lots of downhill in the 1st, 2nd and 3rd. No, 1st, 2nd and 4th. I also might be volunteering today, doing some barcode scanning after I run. When I was faster, I used to do that a lot, most weeks really. I would run and then scan afterwards. But if I'm not going to be quite as fast as usual, I'm a bit wary to volunteer just in case that's going to be a problem. But we'll speak to the run director, see what she thinks. If she's happy enough to have me run around in hopefully under 24 minutes, then yeah, I'll be scanning afterwards. But last we checked, there were 4 people on the roster, but then just before I left I looked and realised that now there are only 3 again. So maybe someone's I had to back out because they're ill or something. So yeah, I might be putting myself to some use after the run.
So far so good. I was feeling for that dog walker because they were like going down the hill and then suddenly they turn around and see this massive pile of people coming down towards us.
Thank you. Thank you. This is faster than last time. My watch says 4:30, but it beeps about 20 minutes later than it usually does. So I'm even faster than it says. That was 11:50 to the roughly halfway point. I'm on track and I can see my dad in the red top, so I know I'm doing pretty well. Thank you. I realised on the second K that the reason my watch was late pinging for the first K was because the route's shorter today, because I ran on the grass and didn't have as wide a curve to begin with to avoid the ice on the path. Not by much, but it's still shorter, so they might have moved the finish line to compensate. If not, in my head I'm gonna add maybe 15 seconds to my time, just to try and get an idea of how I think I really did. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice one. Well done. Thank you. That was great. We had about 250 people today. I did stay behind to scan, which was much needed with those numbers. And it feels like it wasn't very long ago that there was a big deal about parkrun hitting 8 million registrations. And I had 2 people today whose number was 9.2 million, which is crazy how quickly that's gone up. I wonder how many registrations we'll have this time next year. That went well for me today. I was 20 something, I think. Like I said, in my head I'm gonna add maybe 15 seconds, and that's more than I really should be adding, I think, just to account for the slightly shorter distance, because normally we run down here on the path and it follows the edge of the trees there, but today we started on the grass, so it wasn't as wide a corner, so I think things would have been slightly shorter. But saying that, the grass was very slippy at the start, so you couldn't really run at a comfortable pace, and it's a bit more bumpy than the path, so maybe it would have worked out roughly the same anyway. And the reason we were on the grass today is the bottom corner here has quite a lot of ice, I'm told, and there was some ice, I noticed, even on the grass near the path. So yeah, we just kept on the grass to be a bit safer. So I'm happy with how that went. I think if I can do that, the 23:20 something, then maybe even sub 23 next week. It isn't out of the question, especially if my midweek runs will be a bit more well, it's a bit more beneficial. I won't be holding back, I won't be worrying about slipping, as long as the ice stays away. You can see here how this section's still a bit icy, but most of the route was absolutely fine. A bit wet and muddy, but safe to run on. Ooh, I'll say that was slippy there as well. We were told to stay on the grass until we hit this point here, really, which I think was very wise, seeing what that's like. My leg still isn't 100% sorted, but it's definitely improving a lot, and my fitness levels in general are improving too. The better my knee is, the more I can run, the more fit I'm gonna get. So I'm planning just to keep at it, keep gradually increasing how much I'm doing. Last week I think I'd ran 15k, this week, including today, be about 20-21. So I'm just trying to build it up bit by bit, little by little, not push it too much, and yeah, hopefully eventually get back to where I was. I think that's about everything to mention for this video. So hopefully the weather stays fine, I don't have any more ice, and I'll be back and running again next week, and maybe be trying to beat 23 minutes.